A distribution frame is a part of your network where you're going to be punching down some cables. You're going to be punching down into punch down blocks. There may be patch panels involved. It may be a freestanding passive type distribution frame. It may be a distribution frame that you've got along the wall, but this is a place where you're punching down and you're setting up distribution that's going to go other places. Whenever you look in a data center, you'll probably see them on a back wall against a piece of wood, and because it makes it very easy to punch that in. You have somebody really using a punch down tool, so you need something to press against to be able to do that. And you'll see distribution frames for copper, you'll see them for fiber, and you'll see voice and data distribution frames usually separated from each other. There'll be a data distribution frame, there'll be a voice distribution frame. Sometimes we call the distribution frame or the location of the distribution frame its own name. We'll call it the main distribution frame, the MDF. Well, you can find that in the MDF. So we're often referring to that as an entire room or entire facility, but we're really talking about that distribution frame that is plugged into that wall connection or that you have as a freestanding piece inside of the room. It's obviously a significant point of the network. All of your data, all of your voice is going to go through this distribution frame. So it's a pretty important piece to have in your environment. The main distribution frame, or the MDF, is the main part of the network, just like the name implies. It's usually in the data center. It's usually where all of your data is coming back to, and you're distributing out all of that data somewhere else. And we're doing that from that central main distribution frame. This is also where you might bring in your wide area network links. So you've contracted with an internet service provider or a wide area network provider to bring in those links. They're probably going to bring them in at a central point. And what is more central than your MDF connection? This is also a very good test point because almost all of your data is going through these connections. You can really test in both directions, which makes it perfect for wide area network testing. The moment that wide area network link comes into the building, that's a great test point for you. If your MDF is in your data center, you will usually have an intermediate distribution frame or an IDF that might be on another floor. It might be in another closet somewhere. It might be in another building. So you usually have a central MDF, and then you have the other IDFs that are scattered throughout other parts of your building or other parts of your campus. This is the connection that your users connect to. So you're distributing off from your IDF directly to all of your end users. You also have uplinks that we call back to the MDF. So there's usually a fiber or a high-speed connection between your MDF and to your IDF. Usually in your IDF, you're putting workgroup switches or you're putting switches that your end users will connect to. There might also be other local resources like a print server or a scanner or something else that will connect directly to that IDF. You usually see an IDF if you have a medium to large size organization. The IDF will be on another floor of your building, or it might be in another building that's on your campus. But if you're a small organization, you don't tend to have a lot of different IDFs in different places. You usually have one central point. But as you grow, you can now start distributing from your MDF out to all of the other IDFs that you might have in your organization.